What's up, everyone? I have another video for you guys. Today I'll be talking about the Tatsumi brothers. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to everyone for leaving comments on my previous videos. They mean a lot. I like reading them. I like talking to you guys about this show because I actually really enjoy this show. So please keep them coming. I'll make sure to read all of them and comment back to you as soon as I can. Um, Along with the comments, I just want to say I don't mind reading spoilers from the manga or the light novel, but there might be some people on here that don't actually want the show to be spoiled for them. So please be considerate for those people. So please leave a spoiler mark like at the beginning of your comment, and maybe if you can leave a few lines of text right after that, like just leave it like some blank lines. That way people have a chance to avoid those messages. So if you could do that, that'd be really appreciated. So before I begin talking about the brothers, I just want to say that this video is going to have a lot of spoilers from episode 7 and I guess previous episodes as well if you haven't seen those. So if you don't want to know anything about episode 7 or you don't want to know about the things I'm going to talk about the snake and the dragon, please don't watch this video. You can watch my previous videos or you can catch up on the episodes and then come back to this one. So once again, I just wanted to warn you, there's going to be spoilers in this video. We're talking about the Tatsumi brothers, the snake and the dragon, to be more specific. And this is probably going to be a two-part video, considering that the mini arc about the brothers is going to last for 2 episodes. So more than likely, I'll have a follow-up video next week after we learn a little bit more about the brothers. And next week should be focusing more on the dragon. So I might focus more on the dragon myself also in the next video. So first off, I just want to talk about the different abilities that the snake and the dragon have. So I guess first I'll go into the dragon's ability. So his ability is called Heaven's Holding, and from what we saw in this past video, he has the ability to fly or to levitate. We don't know like the extent of like how fast he can fly or how high he can fly in terms of altitude. We don't know any of that. We just know that he's able to fly. We saw it a few times in this episode. So early in this episode, around the 5 minute mark, we actually caught a little glimpse of the dragon's ability. And I actually missed this on my first viewing, to be honest. I just completely missed it. And I didn't see it again until the second time I watched the episode. So I'm wondering if you guys actually caught that. If you did, let me know in the comments. If not, don't worry about it. I'm just curious to see if anyone actually caught the little glimpse of the dragon using Heaven's Holding. And Snake's ability is called Earth's Guidance. And we actually saw this before in previous episodes. And what he does is that he's able to sense people's movements either on the ground or below ground as well. There's actually, we saw a small clip of him being able to sense the monkey when she was doing something below the meeting place of where the Juuni Taisen was going to begin. So that's a little bit about the powers that the Tatsumi brothers possess. So the next thing that I want to touch on is the relationship that the brothers have and how I think it actually changed a little bit after they discovered that they would be participating in the Juuni Taisen. So I guess the way I want to talk about this is I'll separate the two brothers. So first I'll talk about the snake. And to me, at least, it seems that the snake was more cautious before he found out that he was chosen to enter this war. And from what we saw this episode, there's a scene where the two brothers are inside of I think it's a jewelry store or a museum. I'm not quite sure where they're at exactly, but they're in there, and the snake is using a small laptop and what looks to be an infrared monocular. He's not using binoculars; it's one lens, so I guess it's an infrared monocular, and he's using it to see what items are valuable, and then to see like the laser security that's around the objects. So he wants to make sure he doesn't touch those and set off the alarms. So you can see that he's being cautious and careful in his approach to how he steals things. But then afterwards, later on in the episode, we see that the snake is like trying to steal this small lizard, or maybe it's an iguana. He's trying to steal it from this group of thugs that are in the middle of doing some kind of like weapons deal or stocking up on weapons or something. Whatever it is, it's not that important. But a snake actually he threatens to blow himself up and everybody else if they don't allow him to get away with this small lizard. So that's like a really like 180 thing to do. Like at first he was like cautious and careful about stealing things, and now he doesn't really care. He's like I'll blow myself up and everybody else if you don't let me take this lizard out of here. So to me that seemed pretty interesting and kind of strange at the same time. All right, so let's talk about the dragon now. So early in this episode, there's a scene where the dragon is watching some security footage while his brother is inside a jewelry store robbing some expensive jewelry, and then the alarm gets set off, and the snake like has to run out of there to escape, and the guards are after him. And then what happens is that the snake hands over the stolen goods over to the dragon, and we don't see this on screen actually, but this is what happens. The snake hands over the stolen goods to the dragon, and the dragon floats up into the sky out of vision of the guards that are after his brother. And so while the dragon is like safe in the sky out of sight, the snake is actually trying to like hide amongst all these like other people. I guess they're homeless people. So he's trying to hide amongst them, trying to escape the security guards. And so that to me that seemed kind of strange that since the dragon has the ability to just fly, he could just hold up his brother, take the stolen goods and just like fly up and fly away. Like there's nothing that the guards can do to stop them. But he didn't do that. He wanted to fly up with the stolen goods, make sure those are secure, and then he left his younger brother to kind of like hide for himself for a bit. So that was kind of strange. But after they found out that they were going to be entering the Juuni Taisen, the dragon actually becomes more protective of his brother. Like in that same scene I talked about earlier, where the snake threatened to blow himself up if he didn't get away with this iguana he wanted to keep as a pet, presumably. Um, in that scene, the dragon actually showed up to save his brother just in the nick of time, right before he blew himself up. So he became more, I guess, more thoughtful, more protective of his brother. And then also, like when the two brothers are actually going to the meeting place when the Junie Tyson is about to begin, they get to, I think it's like the 150th floor of the building, and the brother says, "Okay, we're here. We've arrived. All right, be on your guard. Watch out." So he's trying to, make sure his brother's like safe. He wants him to stay alive for as long as possible. So at first, I thought that the dragon was doing these things out of like the goodness of his heart, because he actually loved and cared for his little brother. But on second thought, like as I viewed the episode again, I started to think that maybe the dragon is only protecting his little brother because he knows that the two of them together actually are a very strong duo. They have a good chance of winning the Junie Tyson if they stick together. But so yeah, I think what he's doing is that he just wants to work with his brother until the end, and then once they reach the end of the Junie Tyson, the dragon will kill off his little brother and he'll win the whole thing, and then he'll have his one wish granted. So I think that's actually the approach that the dragon has taken here. He's kind of using his brother strategically, as opposed to actually just saving his brother and being protective out of affection. So the reason that I say these things is that because in that same part of the episode where the dragon saved his younger brother from blowing himself up, right after that happens, the snake says to himself, "Oh, I know you didn't come here to rescue me out of concern. I know there's something else going on, but I'm willing to accept your help until the Junie Tyson begins." So the snake knows that the dragon isn't just there to protect him out of the kindness of his heart or out of love. He knows that there's something else that the dragon is thinking about or something else that he's planning. And then also on the actual day that the Junie Tyson begins, after they make it to the meeting place, and the rabbit actually like chops off the head of the snake, the dragon just kind of like jumps back for a bit, surprised, but then he looks at his brother's dead body and he's like, "Oh man, like you're useless." So he seems pretty frustrated at the fact that his brother is dead now. So he probably felt like he spent all this time protecting his brother until the beginning of this war, and then before the rules are explained or before it officially begins, his brother's already dead. So that's how I interpret those events. I mean, I could definitely be wrong here. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Of course, let me know what you think. Um, but I just want to say that obviously, like the brothers have some mixed feelings going into the Junie Tyson, and I'm pretty hopeful that next week we'll get a little bit more context about what was actually going on. And I really wish the snake was still alive because I would love to see the snake and the dragon teaming up against all the other warriors. I think they would actually have some pretty interesting fights against everybody else. But at least we will have one more episode focused on the two brothers. So I'm really looking forward to next week's show as well. Yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this episode. I guess one more thing I'll say is that I don't know if you agree with this, but I definitely feel like this latest episode was poorly animated. Like I'm not knowledgeable about animation like whatsoever, but I do know that this episode looked really poor compared to previous episodes. So I'll put a little example here of what I'm talking about. So I mean, come on, that's pretty bad, right? Um, so I want to know what you guys think about that. And also, I guess one last question I have for you is, what do you think the dragon is planning to do for the rest of this war? Do you think he's actually just gonna float up above in the sky, like out of reach, and then swoop in, like right at the end when everyone else has been killed off or severely injured? What do you guys think he's planning to do? There's only a few more episodes left, so he's got to do something. He's got to do it pretty soon, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.